Guys, welcome back. This is episode number 8 of 0 to CSP. And as we know, we're in Asia, and 8 is an auspicious number. And I couldn't have chosen a more suitable person.
You chose a Chinese guy.
I chose a Chinese guy to be here.
It's auspicious, right?
It's my first Asian interview
Really?
with a Chinese guy. Yes, I've had an Indian fellow before,
Wow.
a Swedish fellow before.
那这样的话，我今天就用中文吧，好不好？
没有啊。
华人嘛，华人用中文嘛。
Well, I'll put subtitles later on for the translation. So with me today is none other than Eric Feng.
Hey guys, hello.
Okay. I told you guys a bit of my story in the past when I started getting into training and I realized I was really, really bad and I started going on courses. Eric's was one of the first courses I went to on public speaking. And one of the most amazing things that happened during the course was you showed us a video of one of your first speeches.
It was disastrous.
It wasn't too bad actually. But
You're just being nice. It was horrible.
From where I was standing, it was actually pretty good, something to aspire to. But now he's obviously raised the bar significantly since then. And as you know, the name of the series is 0 to CSP, and it just so happens that Eric was awarded his CSP just last weekend.
Yes,
okay?
oh my God, yep.
And I was there, and it was a very emotional ceremony. It was incredible, it was inspiring, it was motivational. It was just such a privilege to be in that room. So I can only imagine what it would have been like for you on that stage.
It was amazing, right? I mean, there's of course there's a backstory to all this, but I would say that the entire thank you speech was really a tribute to my mentor, Ron Kaufman. We all need mentors in life. Yes. There's no one who can say that he's a self-made person. Yes. You need a lot of people to help you. And there's a saying, right? The only reason why I can see far is because I've been standing on the shoulders of giants.
Oh,
and
like
that day, I was on stage with all those giants that have inspired me. So it's like a full circle for me, and it was a very emotional moment. Yeah.
So this right here is the goal. This is what we're aspiring to. It's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day.
Yes.
Because later on, I'm going to put a link in the comments for a few things. One of them is going to be an interview that we actually just recorded a short while ago, just so you can see the cameras and stuff. We just recorded a short while ago.
He made me cry. He asked a very painful question.
You make me sound like a tyrant. No, it was very emotional because very real and very authentic and very raw. And Eric was so gracious in being that open and genuine with the questions that were asked and answering them. But you will hear a lot of struggle, a lot of difficulty, a lot of adversity, the backstory. And before we started speaking over here, however, you gave me some tips as to what's needed to make it as a speaker. There was an acronym that you used that was very inspiring. Yes. If you would like to just talk about that for a couple of minutes.
I believe the most important advice that I've gotten was, at least one of the most memorable advice I've gotten was from Larry Wingate. I read this mini booklet, and he said, rule number 1, have a great speech. Rule number 2, tell everybody about that speech. And I really think that it encapsulates the essence of what makes a great speaker. So obviously, you need to have a great speech. You've got to work at your craft. You need to deliver your 10,000 hours if you have to. However, I don't think that was the biggest problem I noticed a lot of speakers face. Okay. Most of the speakers I meet, they have a story, they have a message, they have heart. Yeah. But the problem is many of them are not doing the right thing to help them be discovered. Okay. And to help them have what I call the KLR effect, which is the known, loved, respected effect. Because at the end of the day, if you can be the best person in the world, best speaker in the world, but if no one knows that, it really doesn't matter if you're the best. So one of the things I always share with my peers who are speakers, who are service professionals like real estate agents, insurance agents, even doctors and lawyers, I tell them this: work at your craft, but make sure you invest time and effort to be discovered, to make sure that your potential customers, they know you, they like you, and they respect you. Because if I don't get their attention, you will not even be considered. But even if I know you, but if I don't like you, there is no chance that they will be open to work with you. Yeah. So you need all 3. Okay. KLR.
Just that alone was worthwhile having him here. Just that alone. So KLR, known, like, respect.
Yeah. And we can break it down if you want to.
You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
2 minutes?
No. You got all the time you want. This is a very rare treat. So
let's get the whiteboards. Let's get the slides. So step number 1 is attention. You need to win the attention game. That's the most important game to play first. And so the question you want to ask is, where's everybody's attention? Then obviously the answer is social media.
Yeah.
Right? We're spending a tremendous amount of time on social media. If you're in Singapore, last year, I think, was it Hootsuite? I think it was Hootsuite that did a study. I might be wrong, right? We have to verify that.
I'll check it out.
But they did a study and they found out that average Singaporeans spend about 2 hours and 6 minutes on social media. And in Philippines, they spend 3 hours and 57 minutes a day on social media.
On average?
On average.
Oh my goodness.
And then the top three is Indonesia, Philippines, Indonesia, then Vietnam. So, truth of the matter is your potential customers are on social media. Question is, are you on social media? And therein, that's where many people make mistakes because they will go like, oh, okay, since I'm in a professional speaking business, I need to be on LinkedIn. But you have to understand that every social media platform has a native language, just like every country has a native language. In Singapore, we speak English and Singlish, right?
Yeah.
Malaysia, you speak Bahasa Melayu. So you need to respect the language and you need to be eloquent and fluent in the language. So LinkedIn is what I call the modern day symposium. So written words, intellectual conversations is what helps you thrive on that platform. Whereas on Instagram is what I call modern day reality show, where it's shiny pictures, well-taken pictures, behind the scenes are very important.
Yeah.
So if you don't lead a very interesting life, or you are somebody that is a very private person, you don't want to show what you're doing in your life, then why would you want to be on Instagram? And then there is Facebook that kind of sit in between Instagram and LinkedIn.
Okay.
Facebook is what I call the modern day talk show, where the attention really is on you. It's about you and creating conversations that's interesting for your audience. It's also a lot about edutainment.
Edutainment.
Yes, because people don't just want to go on social media or Facebook specifically to be educated, but they want to be educated and entertained at the same time. So for a person who wants to succeed on Facebook, you have to be in your A game when it comes to being able to pick up trending topics and to have conversations either through Facebook live streaming or through videos. And also being able to create micro content. Micro content is about 3 to 5 minutes worth of content that's trending, that is educational, yet at the same time entertaining. So if you can't do all this, then you can't be on that platform because you will not do well.
I want to put a little pause here. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, please.
I had a meeting with Eric a few months ago. We met at Botanic Gardens.
Oh,
and
yes.
He gave me the best advice ever about finding what's trending.
Yes, I taught him how to do that.
Would you like to share that, or should I mention it?
Sure. So one of the places that you can go is BuzzSumo, right? BuzzSumo, and if you search keywords, you are able to then see what are some of the trending articles written for that particular content. You can go to Google Trends as well, because Google Trends allow you to search, allow you to identify keywords that people are searching for in your particular country. I do YouTube. So I go to YouTube, I click trending, and over there, they will break it down to entertainment, to news, and I think sports. Okay. So you're also able to see like what's trending. So I'll give you an example. I remember there was one time I noticed that Avengers was trending, obviously, right? Yeah. So I told myself, no, I'm going to create a piece of content that's tied to Avengers, that's tied to my topic, which is sales. And so we created this one, which is 5 difficult customers that you wish you could slap away. And it did phenomenally well. So that's something you can do as well.
That's good, yes.
I also want to add a point that when it says trending, it's not just about looking at macro, but it's also important to look at micro. So for example, Facebook. I feel that a lot of speakers, we make the mistake of using social media as a speaking platform.
Yeah.
Creating a lot of voice and sound. But I see social media as a very powerful listening platform.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, and it's very contrary to what we do, right? Speakers speak. That's why we're called speakers. But we should stop speaking, start listening on social media. A case in point.
Okay.
So one of the things that I do a lot is I follow my followers.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, right? You want your followers to follow you, but I follow them too. And I would group them in a list on Facebook, and I would stalk them every day in the morning. So Facebook allows you to group all your all the accounts that you want to group together, all the friends that you make, you can put them in a list.
Okay.
And then every morning you go to your homepage, you go on the friend list, you can then click the list that you have identified, that you have categorized, and then you can tell Facebook, I want to see all the updates of these people. And Facebook will then aggregate all the updates into one single page.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of you didn't know that. Thank you so much
No
for
problem.
that. Please continue.
And then what you do is that every morning, since you're going to be stalking other people, must sure you stalk your customers, right? So I would like the stuff, I'll comment their stuff, I have conversations with them. So it's very interesting that at the end of the day, the size of your community does not matter as much as the depth of your connection with them. And I'm very proud to say that I have very close relationship with my followers. I go for drinks with them.
That's
I go for
fantastic.
sports with them. I even sometimes help them solve relationship problem, which is I have no idea why they ask me because it's not as if I'm very good at it. But it's that intense. It's that intense. It's very intense. And I remember one time I was I was just studying their stuff. I noticed a word came up a lot,
Okay.
which is digital advisor. Right. So there was this conversation about robots versus agents. Like, with the popularity of self-service e-commerce, will people one day decide to buy insurance online, which means they do not need a financial advisor or insurance agent?
Yeah.
That during that season, that seems to be the continuous conversation.
Okay.
So what I did was I decided to write on that trend, right? That was produced by observing them, and I produced a content that says why insurance agents will still succeed in the in the digital age.
Automation, yes.
Automation. That video actually went viral, but that's cool, right?
Yeah.
But what was even cooler was I actually got a message from somebody on Instagram. He was from LA, and he said, Eric, I'm running a tour called Disrupt Tour. I would love you to represent Asia, and I would love you to talk about social media and everything that you said in the video.
Wow.
And that was how I got my gig in USA.
Wow.
And then after that, a number of leaders, that means they are decision makers in corporate companies, they saw that video, they messaged me and they say, we want you to be in our APAC conventions. And so people always think that, business leaders are not on Facebook. That's not true. They might not participate on Facebook, but doesn't mean that they're not stalking you on Facebook. Yeah. So I was just very blessed to get their attention. And that was what created a lot of conversation. And that was what created my new keynote speech that time called The Future of Selling, which is all about how a salesperson can still thrive in the digital era.
I'm sure it's something that a lot of people were concerned about. And it was...
So you see, as a speaker, listen first. As a salesperson, listen first. Because your customers will teach you what they care about, and then you offer a solution according to what they care about. People don't care about how much you know. John C. Maxwell say that, right? Unless you show them first how much you care. That's the beauty of social media.
I told you guys you were in for a treat, didn't I? I told you. That was awesome. It wasn't even the stuff we had discussed before.
No, but I love that you asked. See, he asked very good questions. I really appreciate your questions.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm actually bummed. I'm thinking about doing the two-part series because you got so much to share.
Yeah.
But I know you're very, very busy. And if I was watching this, I would want to know more. I would want to know more about the Facebook thing or the Instagram. And I heard you mention a while ago that you actually have an online course.
Yes. Well, maybe not a course, but it's more like I've been doing a lot of interviews like this, and I would share about the KRR effect. And people really believe that, well, if I'm not known, I'm not loved, I'm not respected, then no one's going to be open to my influence. So today, it's really a lot about first winning the person's attention, then winning the person's affection, then after that, winning the person's trust. With these three things, attention, affection, and trust, then influence is but an inevitable outcome.
Yeah.
The question is, how do you do that? And how do you do that on social media? So I have a process that I go through. There was 7 steps that I accidentally stumbled onto through many years of process. So in that webinar, it's really it's a shortcut for me because I don't want to keep repeating myself. Yeah. So I actually recorded myself sharing the exact process I took from being a nobody to a somebody, from being a local trainer to a global speaker.
Yeah.
And anybody who's selling a service will find that content very useful. Why? When you're selling something that I can't see, the person selling it becomes the product.
Yeah.
And that's why trainers, speakers, coaches, counselors, service professionals, we are the product. So you need to learn how to sell yourself before you sell whatever that you want to sell, your products, your ideas, or your services. People buy people first. So that's that little webinar that I'm going to be doing. I'll provide you with the link, and if you guys are interested to grow your influence on social media in a very systematic way, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, it doesn't matter if you are not a good speaker, you're not a good writer, it does not matter. I'll show you a process that I went through to be able to create content in a way that's authentic, yet at the same time extremely trending and engaging. with the possibility of going viral, because without that, you cannot capture attention, you cannot capture their affection and their trust. So I'll send you a link.
I want to stop this interview now because I want to get started on that.
I'll send you privately. Go for it first.
I want to get started on that. That's exciting, isn't it? That's exactly what we're looking for. How to be relevant, how to be trending, how to reach the most amount of people, because we're in this industry for the influence that it offers us.
The battle is in the mind, not in the wallets. It's not about customers' budgets these days, it's about attention. Whoever gets in the top 3 of your customers' mind has a chance to pitch. So you need to get here first.
Okay. So I would suggest watching this video at least 5-6 times to pick up on all the things that he mentioned previously, because I couldn't even keep track of it. I'm going to have to watch it again as well. I'm going to have a lot of fun editing this and keeping notes.
Okay, cool.
Give me the chance. Now, the reason why I'm able to sit here with Eric, even though we met a few years ago, he's a very, very busy guy. But it was also because of the influence of our relationship within the Speaker Association.
Yes.
Okay, so once I'm going to mention it, if you are an aspiring speaker, if you are somebody that wants to get into this industry or learn in this industry or thrive in this industry, the best thing you could possibly do is join a speaker association.
Yep, and we only have one.
I only have one in Singapore, but wherever you are in the world, depends on the regions you're at.
That was actually how I found my mentor. So.
Yeah. And that's how I found my mentor.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the success stories you'll hear will have that element of influence from a speaker association. So in our case, it's APSS, Asia Professional Speakers of Singapore. In your country, it'll be your own. Please look out for it, and you will find the most amazing people there who will inspire, who will teach. And this is my suggestion to you, okay? Because I want to give a bit of advice as well that happened and why I succeeded. Was this: if you do join a speaker association, I keep telling you join it because of what benefits you can get. Join it to serve, not what you can get out of it. What you will get out of it is a byproduct of your service. The more you serve, the more you put yourself out there and you are genuine and open and authentic, that is when the right people will be drawn to you, knowing that your heart's in the right place, and they will help you.
Very nicely done.
Yes?
Wow.
Okay. So we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care, guys.